My last video is about Kevin Feige giving us a ton of updates about Deadpool, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Blade, all sorts of great tidbits, but my favorite quote today from Feige was actually about this guy right here and how that pertains to this guy right here. But the story of how we got there is even more fascinating. Everyone loves to think of Marvel and DC as rivals for some reason, especially the fandoms themselves, which has made it a rivalry, but the comics even team up fairly often, so while everyone wants James Gunn going to DC to look like this, it actually looks like this. Kevin Feige's excited for James Gunn after he finishes Guardians 3, of course, which is going to be the weirdest press tour ever, but I think this benefits everyone. Marvel's going to have to work harder to keep up with DC, DC's going to work harder to keep up with Marvel, competition is very good for the industry, and James Gunn has helped build the shared universe at Marvel. He's going to thrive building it at DC, but Kevin's history with Marvel and DC is what I think is so fascinating. Because not only does Kevin Feige make every Marvel director watch this movie before they work for Marvel Studios, he considers Dick Donner's Superman the bar, the foundation, the origin movie for superhero films, but this movie is actually how Kevin Feige got started in the industry as a producer. Because he made it his mission to work with producer Lauren Shuler Donner and with director Dick Donner. This was his goal. He loved that movie so much growing up. Superman was his guy, so working with them is actually what led to this. Kevin Feige worked on the X-Men films in the 2000s. He's a big part of why Wolverine has the screen-accurate hair and a lot of the great Easter eggs in comic book building. That, of course, led to him working as the guy at Marvel Studios. It all started here. So Lauren Shuler Donner is the producer of the X-Men film. So we went from Superman at DC to Lauren Shuler Donner producing the X-Men films at Marvel, to Kevin Feige being the guy at Marvel. And yes, this is a DVD extra of associate producer Kevin Feige back in the day in 2000 working on X-Men. So now that James Gunn is doing the equivalent, along with Peter Safran, of Kevin Feige's job over at DC and writing and possibly directing Superman, Kevin Feige's overjoyed. He literally said he used to have a picture of Superman up in his wall, and he thinks there is no better person to wield these characters that he loves than James Gunn. So everyone that thinks there's some weird Marvel versus DC rivalry, it's actually a lot more like this, because it's a lot more like this. I'm very excited to see both of these titans of comic book movies keep running these companies and making them better and better by having some friendly competition. And if this guy is the bar at both studios and this movie is the movie you have to watch at both studios, we're in very good hands.